Hello everyone! So I have some chores that need doing today, like vacuuming the floor, making my bed, washing the sheets, writing a one-page summary for uni, none of which I want to do, so I'm making a video vlog instead. Hello everyone! Recent news. I'm engaged. I have this really cute save the date video on my YouTube profile page thing. You can find it there. I think it's pretty cute. I did it. Me. And I'm in it, and my wonderful, wonderful fiance James, who I am just mad about. We're both in it. My ring is here. Ring. It's fairly simple, which is really me, actually. I'm not a big fan of flashy, big things you see in movies where they have, big rocks that are bigger than your hand and they're meant to go about daily life with it. Well, I'm hoping to be a school teacher, and I don't really think that's terribly practical. So, yes, I'm happy with my ring, and he chose it all on his own, and he's very wonderful, and I love him very much. Speaking of movies, though, we saw 2 movies recently. Well, we saw more than that, but there are 2 that I want to talk about. One is the movie called The Road. The Road it's got Viggo Mortensen, however you say his last name, in it, and it's about this man and his son trekking south across America in a post-apocalyptic setting, and I think it's really, really good. It's violent. There are cannibalistic gangs roaming the place, and that gets just a little bit tiny wee bit gruesome at times. And by tiny I mean a lot, just in case you couldn't tell. But I thought that it was excellent. I thought the end of the movie resolved very well. It's still a post-apocalyptic world, but the characters and the emotions, I think they resolve satisfactorily. It's a good movie exploring emotional depth and relationships, and it's really fascinating. I think it gave me a lot to think about. There was this one point in the film where the father says to this other character, "My son is my God," and you can definitely see that throughout. He's very sacrificial towards his son, and yet he doesn't extend that to anyone else. It's just his son. But it's an interesting relationship. You get flashbacks to the past when the father and son are with the mother figure. Very interesting, and I really enjoyed it. But if you don't like violence, you won't like it. You will not like it if you don't like violence, because it's violent, but it gives you a lot to think about. The other movie I saw was The A-Team. If ever a movie is going to objectify women, this is definitely one of them. There are 4 women in the entire movie, one of which, has a sort of substantial role. She's a past love interest. But, I mean, she's hot. That's what she's there for. To be hot. The other 3 characters are hot. And they all have sexual relations with the characters on screen at some point in time. Well, one of the characters. They're not total whores. But it just disappointed me. It disappointed me because this is the way that women are being portrayed as, men who watch this movie. This is how the women in your life are meant to be. They're meant to be sexy, they're meant to be slept with, they're sexual conquests. You can't have a relationship with a woman who's ordinary looking. She has to be hot. She has to be Jessica Biel hot, who's, the female character in the film. It had a lot of action in it, which was fun. I like action. I'm a great fan of Terminator 1, 2, and 3. Even the new one with Christian Bale in it, big fan. Independence Day, The Day After Tomorrow, just, action, mindless, it's fun. But at the same time, I like to be critically aware of these things, so I just could not turn my brain off during A-Team because it's kind of crap. That being said, action, fun, it kind of pokes fun at itself in the action in that there are these situations that, will die in real life, they'll die, but yeah, they don't. I thought the male characters were interesting. Not as interesting as in The Road, because in The Road the characters had depth, a lot of depth. They had real responses. The father is every man, in a sense. The son is any hypothetical boy born into a post-apocalyptic world in which his father's trying to get him south. Yeah, every boy. But the A-Team relied on 4 kind of typed characters. They didn't develop or progress. But it was fun. So that's the review of my life thus far, The Road and the A-Team. Let me know what you think in the comments if you've seen any of those, including my life. If you're a friend, hey, comment. That'd be great. Bye, everyone.